Last time we talked about functional depression, how easy it is to hide and how it makes you feel like you're moving, but not actually making progress. And after reflecting on that conversation, I realized something. I was slipping back into my old habits. I was trying to operate as if I do not have a chronic illness, if I don't experience fatigue, as if I don't have a whole family to take care of. And when I looked around, I realized I was feeling left behind. That's when I had to stop and ask myself, is this alignment or am I just pushing through survival mode? So today, let's talk about what it means to realign when you feel overwhelmed, shift out of survival mode, and start building a life and a business that actually works for your current season. Because, baby, let me tell you, hustle culture will have you thinking you're behind when in reality, you're just out of alignment. Proverbs 16:9 says, "The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his footsteps." So today, we're going to cover the difference between hustling and alignment, why clarity matters more than effort, and how I personally use faith-based planning to stay on track. So let's get into it. Welcome to the Lupus Speaks podcast. I'm your host, Shedrica Shant'e, and I'm here to inspire and empower lupus warriors just like you. So grab your favorite drink and a notebook because you'll want to take some notes. Whether you're navigating the challenges of lupus or balancing health, faith, personal development, and business, together, we dive into real stories, expert tips, and loopy gems to help you stay strong in both your journey and your hustle. So let's create the life we deserve while staying true to who we are. Ready to level up? Come on, let's go. Why hustle culture is stealing your joy. One of the biggest reasons why we feel exhausted isn't because we're not working hard enough. It's because we're working on the wrong things. When we don't have clarity, we default to busyness instead of purpose, okay? We keep adding things to our plates, thinking that the more we do, the closer we'll get to success. But here's the truth. Productivity without clarity is just moving. It's just moving around, doing whatever. Dr. Miles Monroe said, "The greatest tragedy in life is not death, but a life without purpose." And I had to check myself on this because I was doing a lot. But was I doing what I actually was called to do? Or was I just keeping myself busy? So before we talk about planning, execution, or productivity, we have to start with clarity. Because when you don't have clarity, everything feels overwhelming, and that's where the burnout happens. So let's talk about my faith planning and execution framework, because this is what helped me step back from the hustle mindset and move into alignment. Number one, faith. Before I do anything, I ask God, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Because Ephesians 3:20 says God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all we ask or think. But we have to believe it first. Like, I'm real heavy on believing first, okay? As a man thinketh, so is he. If you do not truly believe it is yours, that it belongs to you, that God gave you this vision, baby, you running on whatever, because the belief part is the main factor. I was just talking to a friend about this, like believing that it's yours, having the faith that God has given you the tools and resources to execute these things. Like I was telling her, sometimes planning don't even be the equation. Sometimes it's literally just believing that it belongs to you, that it's yours, and God is going to guide your footsteps. Because one thing for certain and two things for sure, I know God has always, with an exclamation point, always provided everything that I need. And sometimes that should just be enough. Like, not even sometimes, but that should just be enough. And sometimes we get ahead of ourselves because we start to look at what everybody else is doing and wanting to achieve those things. Sometimes it just be feeling our ego or feeling like we lacking something. And sometimes, most of the time, I know for me, I speak for myself, I'm not lacking anything. I just see things that I want, and God has given me a vision to provide information and resources, and He's given my voice to speak to you, to tell you the truth. You really can't do nothing without the Lord. You can't do anything without faith. You cannot do anything without believing it first. All right? So then when you get into the planning stages of this, once I know I'm moving in the right direction, when I have the clarity from the Lord, then I create a structure that allows me to move forward in a sustainable way. Then when we get to the execution part, and when I say, let's go back. So once we know that we're moving in the right direction, and then we create a structure that allows me to move forward, I even go this in prayer. How should this structure look? What do I need to remove or add in order to see this all the way out, this vision, and then incorporating the unplanned things that can happen, i.e. A lupus flare, or just life, honey, a debt, I got a car accident, I gotta pay this deductible, like whatever. Moving in the right direction and having a structure that's set out for you to execute this vision. Because execution isn't about the hustling part of it. It's just being aligned in action, okay? Moving in alignment. It's a way to honor the season that you're in your life right now, your energy and your well-being. Because y'all, like this season of my life, I'm exhausted, and I'm not even trying to be funny about it. Like the things that we have to navigate. And if you are a millennial, I can't even say it right, but millennial, whatever. If you was born between 1985 and the 90s, whatever, baby, we've been shifting through so many different things. Like we've been having to learn so much stuff that we had to learn on our own, like finances and certain things that budgeting, saving money, running a household, learning how to cook, how to learn grocery budget, and child, just the internet era and how you used to have to go to school for X, Y, Z, and now you only got to do all that. You could just literally read some books and then talk about it online and be like, look, it's too much. On top of mental health, well-being, eating right, cleaning. Then they say, oh, this is good for you to eat, and then it's not. Wait a minute, they got pesticides on it. Like, wait a minute, okay? It's too dang on much. So I'm tired. Then I got other little people that I'm responsible for their well-being as well. Yeah. This is why I created Chronically Planned. Because so many of us are trying to execute without clarity, and that's why we feel stuck. Like, how are we supposed to operate with all these things? Look, we need clarity. We need clarity from the Lord. And I need you to do these next steps. I need you to take 10 minutes today and ask yourself, am I operating in alignment, or am I just moving out of habits? If you've been feeling overwhelmed, pause. Instead of pushing through, ask yourself, is this how I'm supposed to be moving? Just meditate on that part right there. Is this what I think, is this what God has been telling me to do? Fill out the Chronically Planned interest form. The link is in the show notes and in my Instagram bio. I'm creating resources and tools that will actually help, and I want your input. I really want to know everything. How can I create resources for you to help you plan better? I know what I use, I know what I do, and I'll get into that deeper another episode, but I just really need you guys' help being able to help you align yourself, getting the clarity that you need. Chronically planned is something that I'm working on for you guys and myself, because I remember in the beginning how I started doing everything, and it came with first clarity, vision, faith, and then it came planning, vision board, strategy, and then it was me executing. Like the Lupus Speaks podcast is from me executing a vision, my story, what God has brought me through. And I'm so sorry for those of you that are not spirit-led, faith-led, but hopefully listening to this will have you reconsider. Because from what I know to be sure is that God doesn't need to be a part of your life. Some of us are so wrapped up in just including a little time with the Lord, but are we really asking God the right questions? Are we actually leading with the footsteps of the Lord guiding us? Or are we just like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna just, make it about us, make the what we asking for just about us and not what God asked us to do. A lot of us want to do things our way, or take the vision and then take control of it. And yeah, that's all I have for y'all today. This is today's episode of Lupus Speaks and Chronically Planned. If this conversation gave you something to think about, I'd love to hear from you. Screenshot this episode, share it in your stories, and tag me at Lupus Speaks. And if you're ready to take your planning to the next level, go ahead and fill out the Chronically Planned quiz so that I'll be able to create resources and coaching to help create a life that actually works for you. Until next time, keep the faith, keep planning, and keep moving forward in alignment. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in today's episode of the Lupus Speaks podcast. I hope you found some inspiration, encouragement, and a few loopy gems to carry with you on your journey. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other lupus warriors who might need to hear this. And remember, you don't have to walk this path alone. We're building an incredible community here, so follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Lupus Speaks, or check out lupusspeaks.org for more ways to connect and get involved. And until next time, peace and be intentional.